Monday, April 3rd, which means my race is 19 days away. Biggest race of the year for me. And I'm having to kind of trust fall. My builds, both of them, build 1 in February and build 2 in March, didn't go quite to plan. Wanted to expect that. From a mathematical standpoint, I just literally couldn't get everything done that was up to plan. And had to pull the plug on a few items that were in the training plan yesterday, because I was super fatigued. And not only did I feel fatigued, but my devices were telling me I was fatigued. Sleep was starting to suffer. And I lost a little bit of the edge of my top end VO2, which is always a sign that I've overreached too far. So, like everybody else, I have to remind myself I'm not a robot. I'm not a machine. I live in an imperfect body, in an imperfect world. So, we're in a recovery week. We got a recovery week this week, peak training next week, which will be the high intensity top end fitness, if you will. And then I go into race week with all the hay cut, baled, stacked in the barn. Pretty much at this point, the only thing I can do for myself to help is to rest. And I think that's the hard part of being an endurance athlete, especially somebody who's a high performer. I will always give my best every time. But sometimes your best needs to be rest. And this is a tug and pull, a tug of war game, if you will, with the people I coach. But not only that, I just want to be real with you guys. I struggle with it too. So today is about some active recovery. Dogs needed a walk. We got a snowstorm coming in Colorado. And in April, that could mean 3 feet. It could mean 3 millimeters. Who knows? But one of the tricky parts about training at this time of year is taking advantage of good weather and knowing that some days it's outside your set of control. And really, the end of the day, or the end of the line on this, there's a lot of things that are outside that which you can control.
I just wanna be close to your heart. This is where my healing finds its start. Here is where I find my peace, where my soul is finally free. I'm going all in over my head. I'm not scared to get drenched in your love. Wherever you go, God, I will follow. I'm not scared to get lost in your love.
I don't have to see where this road ends, just as long as my hand's in your hand. Here is where I wanna stay, held within your sweet embrace.
I'm going all in over my head. I'm not scared to get drenched in your love. Wherever you go, God, I will follow. I'm not scared to get lost in your love. I'm not scared to get lost in your love. 'Cause your power's found in the roughest waters, where I have no choice but to trust you, Father. Where my every fear has to surrender, I will trust in you forever. Take me there. Oh, take me
Starting to run much closer to my old numbers.
where I have no choice but to trust.
Big swim is looking really solid. That would be a sub 25-minute swim. I'm able to hold that average. It's unlikely, however, that I'll hold 75 yards. I'll probably be closer to the 70 range. Big power is a little funky because we've been doing some hardcore work with lots of rest. But I think probably my sweet spot's going to be somewhere between 170 watts and 185. I mean, Zwift only is an estimation, but I think it's probable I can hold down about 20 to 22 miles per hour on that 24-mile bike ride. The ratios for heart rate are going to change this week quite a bit too. Right now, Zone 3 and Zone 4, Zone 5 are pretty low percentages. For both running and cycling, there's not much data to collect with swimming because heart rate collected in the pool is wildly inefficient and unreliable. And then, the last thing to really look at is my performance management chart here for the last year. This big peak is when I went to Sicily last year, and I was riding pretty high mileage back-to-back days. So I had a big increase there, and then came home and tried to rebuild my base. This was a race, and then brought my volume down so that I could find some semblance of racing fitness, which really was lacking because of my preparation for that bicycle tour and being a guide. And then this lull here is pretty much when I had COVID. That's the COVID hole. We see another peak here. That's in getting ready for my race in Bermuda. And I took a little bit of rest, and it was trouble for me to really get back to work because I took about 2 weeks, I would say, adjusting back to mountain time. Crossing a lot of time zones is still super problematic for me. Found myself at the very end of build, and now we're in taper. So I'm going to lose a little bit of fitness, but I'm really glad to say that I actually got myself up into the low 70s for my chronic training load, that gray number there. And I'm going to see some shrinkage in my fitness this week, to be expected. But what's great is my performance management charts for my swim, for my overall fitness, for my running. Running is higher than it's been actually in 3 years, which is pretty exciting, but I'm still not run fit. And then the bike, kind of managed to maintain a certain level of fitness there. I had pretty high fitness on the bike last year because it was really the primary focus. I have elected this week to stick with a category that I feel is most likely for me to get a slot to Worlds, and that's going to be the aqua bike division. I'm swimming very, very well. I'm riding my bike very, very well, and my running, I would say right now, is at best at medium. So I'm probably 6 months away from top level fitness with running. Next fall, perhaps I'll focus on getting fully back into triathlon. But for this year, my best chance, my best hope, if you will, to do well nationally and internationally is to stick with aqua bike. So that's what I'm going to do at nationals in less than 2 weeks.